Hello and welcome to this video where I will show you a technique or a skill, and it will include some equipment which you can put in place when you want to teach your students from a remote point. For instance, what I have here, I'm capturing the screen of my desktop, and on that desktop we have a software which is referred to as Classroom Presenter 3. It can be used by a teacher or an instructor to ink or to write on the various slides. It's a very easy software, and I've included a download link below this video where you can download it and install it in your computer. Now, how does it work? And why should I do this? This is how it works. It just works like any other standard blackboard out there, and you can see I'm able to write on it. I pick a pen, I pick the color, and I write whatever I want to write over there. You're wondering right now, what is it that I'm using? Because you can see that you don't see my hand there on that blackboard. This is what I'm using. I'm using a gadget we refer to as a tablet, a graphics tablet, and I have a pen, which is basically a mouse, because I can be able to write on the same. This one is a mouse. Let's write the same using the mouse. So over here, I'm now writing using the mouse. And you can see it is very awkward when I write using the mouse. So this one helps me because it is just like any other pen when you're writing on paper. You're able to write smoothly. It is a digital pen. It is basically a mouse, but you're able to hold it like a pen and be able to do the writing just like you would do on a blackboard when you're using a piece of chalk or a whiteboard marker when you are marking a whiteboard. So it comes with a graphics tablet. So you need that. All I need to do is keep my eye on the blackboard as my hand goes to the graphics tablet, and whatever I write, so long as I can be able to see that cursor over there, I'll be able to ink or to write on that blackboard. You will agree with me that when you are teaching your students from a remote point, this skill can be very useful. So the other thing that you might want to put in place is when you listen to my voice in this video, it is very clear. It is important that you think about the audio, because any kind of communication via a digital gadget such as the mobile phone or videos, if the audio is not good, you find that it puts off the listener. So you might want to ensure that your audio is very good. How do you do that? You have to use good microphones and good audio interface. You can, depending on the kind of interface that you are using, you can be able to use the lavalier microphones, or you can be able to use condenser microphone. Over here, the audio interface I'm using is Zoom H6, and the microphone I'm using is the standard one, which comes with Zoom H6, the XY microphones. But I can be able to connect a condenser microphone to the Zoom H6, and it will work just fine. I can even be able to connect a lavalier microphone to the Zoom H6, and it gives me equally good audio. So those things are very important. The audio must be above board, especially when you are teaching students in real time. So ensure that the audio is good. And then when you look at my screen here, you can see that it is devoid of any other distraction. I've just told you that I'm capturing my screen. I'm using a screen capture. And I've removed all the icons from my screen, from my desktop, so that they do not distract my student. This one is so important. It is just like in any other classroom out there. When you're teaching, when you're in front there, you're teaching, you want the students to pay close attention, 100% attention to what you are writing on the board. If in one way or another there are charts just by the sides of the board, they can easily distract the students. So you want them to focus on only one thing at a time. That is the same thing that happens with the desktop. Ensure that your desktop is clear of any other icon. This is important because software such as Zoom, which can be used for teaching students from a remote point, allow you to share your screen with your viewer. When it allows you to share your screen with the viewer, that is when now you can be sure that your students are seeing your desktop. So in this case, I only want to have my blackboard with various slides where I can navigate from one slide to the next. I can even add as many slides I want. These slides, I could have written down things with my hand on the slides, so that as I navigate from one slide to the next, I'm explaining the points. For instance, this can become handy where in one way or another you've got some challenge in typing, but you are so good writing things with your own hand. Why don't you write on those slides one after the next? And because writing takes a little bit more time, you might want to write these well in advance, so that when it comes to running your lesson or delivering your lesson to your students, you just move from one slide to the next, explaining the points and highlighting the various points. Now, because your students are looking at your desktop, you can have even PowerPoint slides over there. Here, I'm using my favorite presenter, which is a classroom presenter, like I've told you. If you go to the download link below this video, you will be able to download the installer and install it in your computer, and it can help you a long way in delivering your lesson from a remote point. Now, why should we want to do that as teachers? Why should we want to deliver our lessons from a remote point? Number one, this skill can come in situations whereby we've got shortage of teachers. A teacher in a school where there are many teachers, for example, in my school, there are many teachers for physics. But out there could be a school without a single physics teacher. And these students need to learn physics. So we could be able to teach those students from our school because we are many. So that is one of the ways in which this skill can be employed. Another way where this skill can become useful is in situations whereby teachers are not able to access the school. Let's take, for example, in situations where you've got some parts are actually unsafe for the teacher could be from a safe point, but still be able to reach those students using the same skill. And plus many other situations that may prompt us to use this kind of skill. So, there are a few things that I would recommend that you put in place for you to use this kind of method for teaching. Number one, you need to have good internet connectivity because you will be teaching your students in real time. Number two, you need to have simple gadgets such as a graphics tablet like this one, because it allows you to do what is so natural to you. What do I mean by this? It is very natural for any teacher to pick a marker and write on a whiteboard, or pick a piece of chalk and write on a blackboard. For example, what I'm using here is a blackboard. So it's very easy for me to be able to do that. So we want to make these lessons to be as natural as possible for you as a teacher, where you do what is most natural for you, that is picking a piece of a chalk and writing on the blackboard. The only difference here is that you don't see my hand over there, but I bet the students will be able to follow this cursor. Wherever it moves, they'll be able to follow that very, very well, and it will just be like as if I'm in a real classroom situation. So you need to have a graphics tablet, and should you want a gadget like that one, just get in contact with me and I'll be able to suggest the best graphics tablet that you can be able to use for this kind of work. Next, you might want to know what kind of audio interface do I need to acquire so that my audio is very good, or what kind of microphone out there can we use to deliver lectures in such a way that our audio appears so clear. Again, get in contact with me and I'll be able to direct you on where you can get these gadgets in the comfort of your station. Better still, I can be able to deliver the same to your station. I can be able to send over whatever gadget that you need to your station. So just get in contact with me and I can either give you some guidance on where you can get them, and if you are unable to get them, then I can be able to send them over to you. So that is what I wanted to share with you this evening, hoping this adds value to you as a teacher who is interested in delivering content to your students who are far off removed from your region. Until next time, it is goodbye.